Hello students. In the last two lectures, I have discussed with you about the negative feedback amplifier and its topologies. While discussing about its topologies, we have seen that either a voltage or a current can be sampled from the output to be connected in shunt or series with the input, and also based on all these different types of topologies, the circuit that we use for the application of negative feedback on the action of the amplifier, these topologies can be named differently in 4 different ways as well. Now, I will be going into giving you a tabular representation of the different names which can be assigned alternately to the already known topologies of negative feedback amplifier. Now let us first see what it means when we have input, output. These are the this is the table I am forming. This is the name of the circuit, name, thereafter topology, then the ratio, symbol of gain, and finally the amplifier type. So these are the headers and for different fields which will be mentioned in this tabular form, and this table will explain the four types of topologies in a different way with different names. Suppose for the first type, the input is voltage and the output is also voltage. The output is voltage means it is voltage, and the input is voltage means Vs as the input and Vo as the output in this case. So if input is a voltage, output is also a voltage which is Vo, input is Vs. So thereby we can find the ratio of input and output as Vo by Vs, and you know that Vo by Vs is the overall gain with feedback for voltage series connection. So topology is voltage series, and the symbol of the gain is will be denoted by AV. V finds for voltage. So this AV is Vo by Vs, which is voltage series topology, can be alternately called VCVS. So the name of the circuit is VCVS, voltage controlled voltage source. That means for a voltage series topology, the circuit which is being formed for the operation of amplifier with feedback should be called voltage series voltage source. This is from the circuital point of view. So this type of amplifier which is formed with the use of this or application of this concept VCVS should be called voltage amplifier. That means what we can conclude from here, that the use of voltage series topology will give you a voltage amplifier where it can also be named as voltage controlled voltage source. So if we want to draw this particular circuit, it should be look like this. Between these two, this is the input circuit and this is the output circuit. This is Vi or rather Vs, the source voltage or the input. This is Zin, the input resistance, This is ZO, the output resistance or impedance, whatever. This voltage source, which is this portion is the voltage amplifier actually, having this as input impedance and this as output impedance, and that amplifier is denoted by a voltage source, and that's why it is called voltage amplifier, whose value should be given by gain AV multiplied by the input Vs. So this AV Vs is actually the output voltage across the terminals, which is VO. So this is the circuital representation of voltage series feedback, where the circuit is named as VCVS, that means voltage controlled voltage source. Okay, source. And this type of amplifier is called, in terms of its operation, this is voltage amplifier. And we have already found in the last video or the last lecture that for this type of amplifier, in ideal case, its input impedance Zin is high, of high value, and Zout or Zo is of low value. That means due to the feedback, its impedance increases at the input side and decreases at the output side. So next, move on to the next one. Now we have input in terms of I and output in terms of V. That means input is denoted as Is and output is denoted as VO. The topology in such a case, if we want to mention the ratio, this should be written as I by V, or rather Is by VO. And you know that it is VO by Is, not Is by VO, just VO by Is, means V by I. It is V by I. So actually this should be written as VO by Is, because this is, for this case it was Vs and it was VO, and now this is Is and this is VO. So this is VO by Is. So VO by Is means the symbol of gain should be V by I, means it is denoting as resistance. So we are denoting it by R. And this type of configuration, whose output is a voltage and input is a current, and the gain is expressed as the ratio between the output voltage and input current, this type of feedback is called, this topology is called voltage shunt topology. So this is voltage shunt topology. The corresponding circuital arrangement is called ICVS. I means current controlled voltage source, and the resulting amplifier that is being evolved in this using this configuration or topology should be called trans resistance amplifier. Now why the trans resistance term is being used? Because it is V by I, so it is resistance, and since it is the ratio or the gain of the amplifier is found in such a way that one quantity is taken from the output side and another from the input side, and we have made the ratio between the output side quantity and input side quantity. So input, from the input it is transferred to the output, and using the two we are getting the gain expression, and therefore this trans name is used. So the trans name should be given to those amplifiers where one parameter and the other parameter will be one from the output side and another from the input side should be used for either, whether it can be voltage or current. If it is output voltage, then input current. If it is output current, then it is input voltage. And so therefore one from output side and another from input side parameter should be used to find the gain, to compute the gain. Therefore, the term trans is used, and since it is V by I, so this is called trans resistance amplifier. To be very exact, this gain is denoted by small rm. So this rm is nothing but VO by IS. Now if we want to draw the corresponding circuital diagram, which is given the name ICVS, current controlled voltage source. So that means at the output side it should be a voltage source like this, whose value should be given as RMIS, because Rm is V0 by VO by IS, so VO means it is RMIS. RMIS. And this is Zin, the input impedance. At the input side, what is at the input? It is IS. So this is IS, a current source. And at the output, the resistance is ZO as usual. And across this, the output VO is measured. Okay, so this is the circuital representation for voltage shunt topology, and this is ICVS, means current controlled voltage source, and the name of this particular circuit is called trans resistance amplifier. Okay, so this is called trans resistance amplifier. Now what we have seen in case of this voltage shunt feedback, that current at the input is being made to be converted as voltage in the output, because we are providing current at the current as the input to be obtained as voltage at the output. So rather than being called it as an amplifier, it should be better called a converter. So this is nothing but a converter. And what converter? This is basically current to voltage converter. Current to voltage converter. Okay. Now I have discussed with you earlier that for a voltage shunt network or topology, both the input and output impedances are decreased. So that means this Zin should be of low value. So we should be writing here, for this case trans resistance amplifier, Zin should be of low value, as well as ZO, which should also be of low value. Okay. Now let's go on to move. So this is the property or the effect of negative feedback on its input impedance and output impedance. Now let's move on to get what is for when voltage is applied as the input in terms of Vs, suppose, and output is IO. Okay, output current. So voltage is given as the input and current is measured as at the output. So therefore the ratio should be which is called gain, should be IO by Vs, and it is denoted by GM, small gm. So small gm is IO by Vs. If we want to draw this circuital representation, it should be look like this. Here at the input it is Vs, applied as Vs, the voltage source, Zin, the input impedance. Then output should be represented in terms of current. So this output is a current source basically, and since output is a current source, this resistance should be connected in parallel to the current source, because this resistance for a voltage source should be connected in series, for a current source should be connected in parallel. So parallel to it is ZO, and across ZO the output is measured, which is IO. So this is the circuital representation. So here we can see that this is actually a current source at the output circuit whose value is given by I/O, and I/O is nothing but Gm into Vs. So the value of this current source is Gm into Vs. Okay. Now, so if this is Gm into Vs, that means it is a current source which is controlled by a value Vs, which is a voltage. In the previous two occasions, in the first occasion, at the output it is a voltage source whose value is dependent on another voltage Vs. That's why the name was given voltage controlled voltage source. In the second case, the output is represented as a voltage source whose value is dependent on the input current value Is. So it is current controlled voltage source. In this third case, it is the current source whose value depends on input voltage Vs. So it is voltage controlled current source. That means this should be called voltage controlled current source. Okay. In short, VCIS. Okay. And this topology where these things is selected like this should be called current series feedback. So the topology used here as current series feedback. Okay. So in this case, this table, here in this table, it should be written as VCIS, and the topology is current series. This is VCIS and the topology is current series written in the table, whose gain is given by Gm, and this Gm is I/O by Vs. Since it is I by V, that means it is conductance. The gain should be called conductance. And since it is output quantity of current versus input quantity of voltage, output versus input one quantity each, this should be called transconductance. So this circuit should be named as, rather being called as an amplifier, it should be called a current to voltage converter, voltage to current converter. So I am coming to that. So the name of this circuit, of this particular formation of circuit, is called transconductance amplifier, where at the input voltage is given, at the output current is obtained. So voltage is converted into current. So that's why alternately this is called voltage to current converter. That means voltage is given at the input and current is taken as the output. So this is V to I converter or voltage to current converter. And if we consider what is, for this type of topology, the effect on input and output impedance, we should be getting that for both the cases this should be high. So Zin is of high value and Zo is also of high value. So for a voltage to current converter, Zin is high, Zo is high. Now let us move on to the next topology, where the input is given as Is and output is taken as I/O, both in current form. So that means the ratio should be I/O by Is, and since it is the ratio of both the currents, the symbol of gain should be Ai, that means current gain. So since current is given as input and current is taken as output, it is current amplification. So this type of amplifier is called current amplifier. And you know, for this topology where current is given as the input and current is taken as the amplified form of output, this topology is called current shunt topology. Now if we want to draw the circuital representation, it should be found like this. At the input, this is the input resistance, it is given as II, the input current, this is Zi, the input impedance. Output is also a current whose value is given by AI into II, where AI is the gain of the particular amplifier, current amplifier, and II is the input current. So this is the output current, and parallel to this current source, the output impedance ZO will be there, and across this the output current should be measured as IO. So therefore it is the equivalent circuital representation of current amplifier, where current source is given by this. Now if we analyze this, this is nothing but an amplifier which is current amplifier, where the input is given as II multiplied by current gain should be given as the output IO. So that means the value of this current source at the output is dependent on the current value at the input. So this circuital arrangement should be called current controlled current source. That means we can write in the table, current controlled means IC, current source IS, current controlled current source ICIS, and hence thereby what is being formed is called current amplifier, which gives the ratio of two currents in terms of its current gain. Now the feedback that is being used here is called current shunt feedback. That means the topology is used as current shunt. So current shunt feedback can be alternately called current amplifier, where input is current and output is also current. Okay, so it is a general current amplifier. Now if we want to consider, and this is ICIS, what is the effect on Zi and ZO? We will be seeing that for this case Zin should be decreased, that means low Zin, and the ZO should be increased, that means this should be high ZO. So in this case, for a current amplifier, the input is generally low impedance and output is generally of high impedance, unlike voltage amplifier where input is high impedance and output is low impedance. So the property of voltage and current amplifier is reversed in terms of its value of input and output impedances. And ideally high impedance means infinite impedance, and low impedance means it is zero impedance. So these are the four forms of representation of four different topologies in four different circuital names of the amplifier. So in this way we can classify, based on four different topologies, the four different types of negative feedback amplifier. Now let us do some problems, numerical problems. Problem number 1 is determine the voltage gain, input and output impedance with feedback for voltage series feedback given, where A is given as, A means open loop, minus 100, Ri is 10 kilo ohm, RO is 20 kilo ohm, and beta is given as feedback factor. For once it is minus 0.1 and minus 0.5. So these data are given. We know solution gain with feedback AF is given by A by 1 plus A beta. A means AOL. Now if we put the values, all the values are given, we should be getting this as minus 9.09. This is gain after feedback. When beta is minus 0.1 and AOL is minus 100. And the corresponding ZIF is given by, since it is voltage series feedback, it should be increased Zi into 1 plus A beta. So this is 10K into 11, 110 kilo ohm. And ZOF, the output impedance with feedback, it should be decreased ZO by 1 plus A beta, that is 20K divided by 11, that is 1.82K. Now this is one set of solution. The second set is when beta is minus 0.5. Once again we need to calculate AF considering beta as minus 0.5. So minus 100 by 1 plus 0.5 into 100, and this should be giving you 1 minus 1.96. This is the gain with feedback when beta value is minus 0.5. ZIF is given by Zi into 1 plus A beta, and that is nothing but 10K into 51, that is 510 kilo ohm, and ZOF is ZO by 1 plus A beta, 220K divided by 51. So this is 392.16 ohm. Now if we analyze the results of this circuit, we can draw a conclusion from here. This problem demonstrates the trade-off between the gain for improved input and output resistance. If we reduce the gain by a factor of 11, that means from 100 to 9.09, then from as per the results we have obtained, that means initially without feedback it was 100, now it has been reduced to 9.09. What we are getting, that reduction in gain, that means a loss, it is a loss to us for our operation, but that is traded off, that is complemented by a reduced output resistance and increased input resistance by the same factor of 11. We are using the same value of 11 for this 1 plus A beta term to increase the input impedance and decrease the output impedance. So my compensation for reduction of gain is achieved through this process. Now reducing the gain by a factor of 51 in the second case, where it is 51 when beta is minus 0.5, it provides gain of only 2, that means it is 1.96, almost 2, that is very less as compared to the previous one when beta was 0.1. Now if feedback is more, the gain is reduced much further, but with input resistance has increased to over 500 kilo ohm. Previously input resistance was less, now gain is far more decreased but input resistance far more increased also, and the output resistance is previously it was 2 kilo ohm almost, and now it has come down to 392 ohm, that means it is far more reduced. So we can say that with the loss of gain because of high feedback gain high gain of feedback network, which is creating a loss overall in the which is creating a loss in the overall circuit gain, is compensated very well by the increase of input resistance and decrease of output resistance. Okay, so this can be seen as a trade-off between the reduction and gain with the values or the effects of input and output resistances. Now, let us move on to see the next problem. An amplifier has a voltage gain of minus 500. A equal to minus 500. This gain is reduced to minus 100. It is reduced when negative feedback is applied, because we have seen that with the negative feedback gain is reduced. Now we determine the reverse transmission factor, or the beta. Beta is to be determined and express the amount of feedback in dB. So this is the problem, and express feedback amount in dB, feedback in dB, that is decibel. So let's see how. Consider the basic formula. AF with feedback is without feedback gain divided by 1 plus A beta. Now A is given by minus 500 and AF is given by minus 100. These two are given. So from here we can write 1 plus A beta is A by AF, which is 500 divided by 100, which is 5. Minus 10 minus sign is obliterated, and therefore beta is given by here 5 minus 1 4. So 4 divided by A, and this is 4 divided by minus 500, because A is minus 500, which is minus 0.08, sorry 0.008. Now dB, therefore dB of feedback, if we want to convert this into dB, the formula is, minus 20 log base 10 common logarithm of the value, the amount of feedback is AF mod of AF by A. This is the amount of feedback. So please remember, the amount of feedback is on A, how much feedback is affecting its value. So the value that is being affected is in the numerator AF divided by the original value, ratio taken with modulus and 20 log base 10. This will be the dB value. Now what is AF by A? We have seen A by AF is 5. So AF by A is 1 by 5. So 20 log base 10 mod of 1 by 5. And this should come out as minus 13.98. So this is the amount of feedback in dB. Okay, minus 13.98. This is the answer. Let us move on to see the next problem. The third problem says an amplifier with negative feedback has an overall gain of 100. Overall gain means AF is 100. Now variations of this gain of only 1 plus minus 1% can be tolerated for some specific use. Now this the toleration of plus minus 1% happen to be there in this particular value if the open loop gain plus minus 1% is allowed, the variation on AF. If the open loop gain variation of plus minus 10% are expected, A is having some value on which the tolerance is allowed of up to plus minus 10%. Determine the minimum value of the feedback fraction beta and also the open loop gain to satisfy the above condition. Now we know, so we need to find beta minimum and also open loop gain to satisfy the above condition, and open loop gain is AOL we need to find. So these are the findings. So the solution should be starting from AF equal to A by 1 plus A beta from this basic equation. Now if we apply differentiation on this particular equation with respect to A at both sides for gain stabilization, that means for gain stability or stabilization, we need to differentiate this equation with respect to A. So dAF by dA is given by 1 plus A beta minus A into beta is constant, so this is 0, so A beta divided by 1 plus A beta whole square. So this is 1 by 1 plus A beta whole square. So rearranging this, we can write dAF by dA is equal to 1 by 1 plus A beta into 1 by 1 plus A beta. Now multiply both sides with A. Therefore, A into dAF by dA is equal to A by 1 plus A beta into 1 by 1 plus A beta. So therefore, we can write A into dAF by dA, that is equal to, this equation is nothing but AF into 1 by 1 plus A beta. So, or we can write dAF by AF, taking AF to the left side and dA to the right side, dA by A into 1 by 1 plus A beta, dA to the right side and A to the right side. Okay, so this is the expression for after differentiation of this formula. Now we have this dAF by AF, the change, that is the tolerance that is allowed on AF is given by plus minus 1%. So this dAF by AF here is given by plus minus 1%, and this dA by A is given as plus minus 10%. So that's why the differentiation is useful in this, and that's why this differentiation has been done, because it is the differential value in terms of tolerance is given in the problem. That's why we have considered the gain stabilization theory in this case. So dA by A is plus minus 10%. These two values are given. So therefore 1 plus A beta, taking this to the to this side and taking this to the other side, this equation should be written as 1 plus A beta is equal to dA by A divided by dAF by AF, and that means it is in percentage 10 divided by 1, so it is 10. Again we are taking the same formula, AF equal to A by 1 plus A beta, where AF is given as 100 and 1 plus A beta is found as 10 from here. So we may calculate from here the open loop gain. Therefore A is nothing but, which is open loop gain, AF into 1 plus A beta, and what is AF? 100, put 1 plus A beta means 1 plus A beta means it is 10 already given, so 100 into 10, that is 1000. So this is my open loop gain, and since 1 plus A beta is 10 here, and put 1 plus A equal to 1000 beta equal to 10. So therefore the feedback fraction beta is 9 divided by 1000, which is given by 0.009. So this is the answer for beta. So very simple, in very simple way this problem can be solved. Now let us see from some practical examples of the application of the feedback amplifier topologies. First, let us see the practical example for the application of voltage series feedback and consider the given FET amplifier where the voltage series feedback is being used. A part of the signal you can see from the output across which a voltage divider circuit is connected with R1 and R2, and a part of the output voltage across this R2 is taken in terms of VF, which is the feedback voltage. So that is taken as a portion from the output using this feedback network of resistor R1 and R2 to be connected in series with the source signal, like in this path with the source signal or the input Vs, and the difference of the two, that is Vs and Vf, will be Vi in this case. So this Vi is given by Vs minus Vf. So this is the application of negative voltage series feedback, negative feedback on FET amplifier. Now without feedback, the amplifier gain in open loop is given by AOL VO by Vi. You know this is very simple, and the formula is the gain for FET amplifier is minus GM RL, where GM is the transconductance and RL is the connected load. Transconductance and RL is the load, connected load here, which is RO, you can see from the diagram. Now with respect to this circuit, RL here is the parallel combination of resistors. Now RL can be written hence as RD, that means the whole thing, everything that is connected in parallel to this RD, RO, R1, R2, combining all these in the output side, all these resistances will combine to give the equivalent resistance as load resistance in this circuit. So RL is RD parallel with RO along with parallel with R1 plus R2, which is the voltage divider part, which is the feedback network part. Parallel with that feedback network R1 plus R2, the RD and RO is also parallelly connected, and the equivalent of this all these resistances is RL, which is treated as the load resistance in this case. That should be used for this formula where RL is being shown. Now the feedback network that provides feedback factor beta in this case, that means the feedback gain or anything you can tell, reverse transmission factor, it should be denoted by Vf by Vo in this case. And that is applying potential divider rule in this circuit at the output. You can write R2 by R1 plus R2, and that is with minus sign in front because of negative feedback. Now using the values of A and beta above, we find the gain with negative feedback to be, using the formula AF equal to A by 1 plus A beta, where beta is given by this and A is given by this. These two equations should be used over here. So A is minus GMRL divided by 1 minus this is minus because A has minus term and beta has minus term, so these two minuses will become plus, so this plus will remain as it is. So A into beta means GM RL whole into R2 by R1 plus R2. This can also be written as minus GM RL, just a little bit rearrangement in the denominator, GM outside, inside the parenthesis R2 RL by R1 plus R2. So this is RF, this is AF. Now if in this case A beta is far greater than 1, then we may write, what we may write, if this A beta is far greater than this value, AF approximately equal to 1 by beta. So AF approximately equal to 1 by beta. That means it is R1 plus R2, beta means it is R2 by R1 plus R2, so R1 plus R2 divided by R2, okay, and with a minus sign in front of this term, a minus sign. So this is the derivation for this particular circuit while using the topology voltage series feedback. Now let us solve an example numerical on this particular concept. Calculate the gain with and without feedback for this FET amplifier circuit. Numerical, need to calculate the gain for this particular circuit. So this is numerical number 4. Having values R1 given as 80 kilo ohm, R2 given as 20 kilo ohm, R0 given as 10 kilo ohm, and RD given as 10 kilo ohm, and the transconductance GM is given as 4000 microsecond. This is the FET parameter, transconductance. Now let us see, just use all the formulas to find the different results. So first what we should write, RL approximately R0 RD, need to find this RO RD divided by RO plus RD, because RO and RD is in parallel, okay, which is treated as the load resistance. So this is 10K into 10K divided by 10K plus 10K. So this will come out as 5 kilo ohm. Now if we neglect the 100 kilo ohm resistance of R1 and R2 in series, then now this calculation is found by R1 plus R2 is equal to 100K, that is being neglected, and then only we can find RL equal to 5 kilo ohm, because you know RL is RD parallel RO, which is done here, but neglecting parallel with R1 plus R2. So we have neglected the R1 plus R2, this series connected resistances, because that value is 100K, and 5 kilo ohm parallel with 100 kilo ohm will result very less amount of current to be flown through this 100 kilo ohm. So the consideration of 100 kilo ohm in the overall load resistance calculation is immaterial. So that's why with respect to this 5 kilo ohm value, we are explicitly neglecting the value of R1 plus R2 for the overall value of load resistance, which is 100 kilo ohm, which is much greater than this 5 kilo ohm value. So this resistance will not be significant for current conduction, so that it should be included in the overall calculation of RL. So therefore my RL is 5 kilo ohm in this case. Now A open loop gain is given by minus GM into RL, and RL is 5 kilo ohm, GM is given 8000 microsecond, sorry 4000 microsecond, so minus 4000 into 10 to the power minus 6 into 5 into 10 cube, and that will give you minus 20. So this is open loop gain. Now the feedback factor beta is given by, from the formula, minus R2 by R1 plus R2 we have already found in the previous derivations or analysis of this circuit. So this is given by minus 20k divided by 80k plus 20k, so minus 20 divided by 100k, that is minus 0.2. This is the feedback fraction. Now if we want to calculate the gain with feedback, it should be using the standard form which we are using in many places, AF equal to A by 1 plus A beta, where A and beta already known, found out by us, minus 20 and minus 0.2. So this should be minus 4. So this is the way how these problems can be solved for practical applications of voltage series feedback topology. Now let us consider this emitter follower circuit. This is another problem, numerical. Emitter follower means it is common collector configuration of BJT. You know that the output is taken from the emitter, which is following what is present at the input with unity gain. It provides the voltage series feedback. You can see from here that at the output the voltage VO is taken between the emitter terminal and the ground, and that is taken as the feedback. So across this VO, this VF is being shown, and this is VF is fed back through this ground into the up into this to be connected with the ground of this VS. So VS minus VF is VI, that is taken out of this VS, and this VI is driving this transistor BJT. So this is voltage to be taken from VO in terms of VF to be connected in series with VF, so that VI is obtained for amplification by this transistor, or for rather we can say for the input to this transistor. The signal voltage is Vs, input voltage is Vi to the transistor, and output voltage is Vo. Now this amplifier provides the operation with feedback. The operation of the circuit without feedback provides Vf equal to 0 when there is no feedback. So that we can say in that case without feedback A equal to Vo by Vs, and therefore this Vo is nothing but HFE IB into RE divided by Vs, overall output by overall input. Now what is output? Vo, it is the voltage drop across this resistance, which is RE. This is RE. Across this RE, what is the current? Current flowing through this is HFE IB, which is IE actually. So the IE which is flowing across this RE, resulting the drop VO across this resistance RE. IE is the emitter current in this case, which is HFE times IB. HFE is the forward transfer current gain, or rather we can say forward current gain in this case. So we can substitute in place of IE HFE IB, and HFE IB into RE, that is VO divided by Vs. Now HFE, this can be written as HFE RE taken outside, Vs by HIE divided by Vs, because now go to the input side, IB is flowing here, and what is IB? IB is nothing but the input impedance, which is the H parameter circuit HIE, which is the input impedance, you know, and Vs is the input voltage. So Vs divided by input resistance, that is input current IB. So in place of IB we have substituted Vs by HIE. Okay, now if we cancel Vs from the two sides, we can write it as HFE RE divided by HIE, and also we know beta is equal to Vf by Vo, which is the feedback fraction, and that is equal to 1 in this case because of voltage follower, unity gain, voltage follower, unity gain. Voltage follower is having gain unity. Now considering feedback is applied, the formula is AF equal to VO by Vs, which is A by 1 plus A beta, the general expression. Now substitute beta from here 1 and A from here as HFE RE by HIE. So this can be written as HFE RE by HIE divided by 1 plus 1 into HFE RE by HIE. Now multiply numerator denominator by HIE. This is HFE RE by 1 plus, HIE plus HFE HIE RE. This is nothing but AF. Okay, this HIE will not be there because we are multiplying top and bottom, that means numerator denominator by HIE. So this is only HFE RE in the denominator. So now if HFE RE is far greater than HIE in the denominator, we can neglect this HIE with respect to HFE RE. So therefore we can say AF approximately equal to 1. So this proves this type of with the application of voltage series feedback using the emitter follower circuit, the gain is with feedback is 1. Okay.